I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me, don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. I might seem different, but we're the same. We're the same.
The apocalypse hasn't happened. There are no more detours, no more DDoSes, no more shenanigans going on that's going to protect our little friend, David Sherratt. His guardian angel took the fucking day off. No more delays, David. No more delays. As Mundane Matt would put it, today is the day that we are going to
trigger the libs, own the libs.
Oh, hot bants from the Gamergate 2.0 leader himself. It is going to be a fun time. He's going to poke somebody's eye out with that little Highlander sword. That is a clear sign not to fuck with David. He got that at a prop store on Halloween. He is ready to roll in the streets of his hometown. He will take you on, katana to katana, or broadsword. I don't even know what kind of sword that is. I doubt many sword collectors would, because it's made of plastic, and he just kind of flails it about. Where do we begin with David Sherratt? Well, David Sherratt, to give you a basic background, is a cunt. There you go. You're caught up to date. Let me see. How do I want to do it? Do I want to go right into the fundraiser, or should we talk a little bit about his persona? You know what? We're going to talk about his persona. I think that's a good place to start, because you'll understand how weird this fundraiser is when we read a little bit of news about David, our little Tinkle Boy Supreme. We'll take a look at a piece of news coverage that David got back in 2015. I think this is a good way to segue into who he is. David Sherratt, 18, is a men's rights activist who won't have casual sex in case he is falsely accused of rape. Cardiff University student David Sherratt is part of an online community known as MGTOW, men going their own way. Now I know, look at this sexual beast of a man. Doesn't want to give up that virginity. Might lead to accusations of rape. I know this man is a pussy-slaying machine. He can't walk down the street without a vagina throwing itself at him. But he's come up with a strategy. He's not here to pleasure women. David is a serious boy with serious issues to tackle. He's not going to let some whore fuck his future up. David Sherratt doesn't want a girlfriend. He doesn't ever want one. An 18-year-old who has given up hope on womankind. It's not for me, the teenager said. I could be missing out on something, but I could also be putting myself in danger. Well, vaginas are known to kill men.
I think there might be something weird going on inside.
What have you put in here?
Chemistry student David is part of an online community known as MGTOW, men going their own way. According to MGTOW.com, it's about ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. It's about looking to no one else for social cues, refusing to bow, serve, or kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility. And it's about living according to his own best wishes in a world which would rather he didn't.
Ha! Gay!
But what exactly does that mean to David? David, who is a virgin, is worried he could be accused of rape if he had casual sex. There is the risk of false accusation, especially given that I am a political target. Given I'm a men's rights activist, advocate, and people know who I am, he said. The big lie was that men are sexually free and women are not, he said. We do not know how many false accusations there are, he said. They could be the majority or they could be the minority. Why would David be so concerned with this? Being accused of rape. It's not like he goes around threatening women with rape and acting like a spaz.
Good morning, Lauren. I've just raped you.
Yes!
Oh, okay. Wait, never mind. Never mind. Our little MGTOW. It all started off by posting on YouTube. David became known after he posted videos sounding his views on YouTube under the name Spinosauruskin. Some have had a few hundred views, other a few thousand. The reason you do not hear about men's rights advocates like me being accused is because I am careful. There's a lot of risk. You don't know how many accusations are true. He worries about so-called Yes means yes laws coming to the UK. There were women fighting for a yes means yes law. That would mean a man would have to prove consent. How exactly do you prove that happened? It is anti-human rights because you have a right to a fair trial. If that's going to be taken away, human rights are going to be infringed upon. What else worries David? Questions of consent are not David's only fear. Oh boy. Men could end up in abusive partnerships. A lot of men don't know how to see the signs of abuse, he said. They are told they cannot be abused. Services to help men abused by women were few. There are hardly any services whatsoever, and those they do manage to find are rudimentary and small charities with very little funding. Marriage is not on the cards. I do not believe in state-sanctioned legal contract of relationship. When it comes to marriage, the system is so stacked against men, it doesn't make any sense. You're basically playing the financial equivalent of Russian roulette, with 3 bullets because 50% of marriages end in divorce. No man came out of that well. Ask any man who's divorced whether he ended up better off or whether he would have preferred to stay single. David, who is a student at Cardiff University, said. I hope that gives you kind of an overview of who our little MGTOW is. David doesn't want to risk freedom for pussy. He's not interested in that. Pussy is a trap and David will not fall into it. He's going to stay a virgin for life because vaginas are icky and girls are mean. So you might be surprised then with that kind of a staunch belief in going his own way and not really wanting to get bogged down by state-sanctioned financial relationships, that he would find himself in a financial relationship with a woman. Strange. The weird thing about this is a lot of the information isn't really out there anymore. You can find various screen caps and a few archives, but a lot of the stuff that was happening when he was doing his fundraiser, and it is his fundraiser, isn't really out there. But let's take a look at what we can find and piece it together what happened. So David, our big boy who hates icky girls, decides he's going to do a fundraiser for a poor, innocent, atheist ex-Muslim girl living in Qatar. We can see this on a Reddit. Please help D Misfit get out of Satan's asshole. It's a fundraiser. David Sherratt will be holding funds for D until she gets a bank account. If you have any questions, you can contact Spinosauruskin or D Misfit on Twitter. D lives in the Arabian Gulf and is an ex-Muslim atheist. Being an atheist in her country is punishable by death. She is living with fundamentalist parents who would not hesitate to turn her over or perform an honor killing themselves. And that's if her atheism was discovered. She needs to get out safely, and my goal is to get her there as soon as possible. Please help us. Help D. What a good boy. God, what was it about D that got David's attention? Was it the plight of this poor ex-Muslim atheist living in an oppressive caliphate-like regime of Qatar, her fighting off her fundamentalist parents, trying to avoid an honor killing? Or was it her beautiful smile? What's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, David? Dee's smile. Oh my God, that's so... Oh, it's so beautiful, really. She's got such a pretty smile, guys. You don't understand. I'm not doing this for pussy. I hate women, remember. I'm doing this to save her from the icky bad people that want to hurt my beautiful angel. Now, David got some press about this. He's been in the news a lot. First, the MGTOW thing, and now saving the girl with the beautiful smile in Qatar, who totally is real and not a fictitious thing. He got an article written on Breitbart, of all places. Can you imagine? David Sherratt on Breitbart, but he was. Crowdfund aims to help ex-Muslim atheist girl facing threat of execution escape to the West. This is from Alan Bakari back in 2016. An ex-Muslim atheist girl from the Arab Gulf states who faces execution in her home country if her religious affiliation were to be discovered is, with the help of the internet, planning an escape to the West. The girl, known on the web under the pseudonym D, currently resides in a Gulf state country where atheism is punishable by death. According to the fundraiser, her parents are also fundamentalists who would not hesitate to turn her over or perform an honor killing themselves if her atheism was discovered. D also goes by the pseudonym Harem Girl on Twitter, where she posts regular critiques of Islam and Muslim culture. She describes herself as an atheist, a classical liberal, and an egalitarian. Speaking to Breitbart Tech, D explained what it was like to live as an atheist girl in a hardlined Muslim country. Being a female in a Muslim fundamentalist family on its own means that I can never have freedom over my life choices. I exist for one purpose, which is obeying my guardian, whether it's my father or husband, and by that, obeying Allah. Being an atheist in the environment like that is simply not an option. There's no room for being a thought criminal or for ruining my family's honor. If that fact that I am an atheist was made public, my parents and members of my community would not hesitate to kill me. Financially dependent on her parents, there is little chance that Dee could escape on her own. That's where the internet comes in. An online fundraiser was set up last evening to raise the funds necessary for Dee's travel to Britain. In just a few hours, it met its initial goal of 3,000 British pounds. The fundraiser was not set up by a charity, an NGO, or a government, but by two close friends of Dee. One is Jen, another ex-Muslim who, like Dee, formerly lived in an Arab country. She now resides in the U.S. and is committed to helping Dee escape the same Islamic nightmare. Now that's going to be important for the future. Just remember that name. Jen, another ex-Muslim who escaped to America. Explaining her motives for setting up the fundraiser, Jen said, "I'm an ex-Muslim and I've gotten to know Dee very well. I used to live in an Islamic country myself before I became an atheist and moved back to the U.S. I've heard of her plight and I had to do something. I can't do that much more than ask everyone to help her. I did it because it's the right thing to do." Now, here's where David comes in. The co-organizer is David Sherratt, also known by his web pseudonym Spinosauruskin. Sherratt is a British student and an increasingly well-known men's rights activist. Given that MRAs regularly portrayed in the mainstream media as a nest of women haters, it's positively baffling that Sherratt would go out of his way to help a young girl escape from a genuinely misogynistic hellhole. Perhaps this is just another theory that mainstream media is wrong. Readers will have to judge for themselves. Speaking to Breitbart Tech, Sherratt explained the practicalities of the crowdfunded rescue mission. The plan is to get into the country. Apply for refugee status was her option, when her original plan was getting a student visa was shot down by her mother's desire for her not to leave the country. Dee had difficulty working out how she would leave at this point, but after we started messaging and got together, we devised a plan to get her in. Our plan is to allow Dee to get into the UK on a tourist visa and apply for refugee status at the end of her stay as UK law suggests. Since you are unable to work on such a visa and to apply for one in the first place, immigration officers need you to prove that you are capable of supporting yourself for your stay. This is why we need so much money. The £3,000 goal is a low estimate. The cost could be much more than this, but this will help with a significant amount. So our little MRA, David, decides that he wants to help out Dee. And why does he want to help out Dee? Because she's got a pretty smile. So he's going to help raise money with Jen. And they're going to get her safe, right? They're going to set up that bank account. They're going to get her that money. They're going to do all of that. But while he's doing this fundraiser and after the fundraiser, people start to have questions. Namely, where's the girl and where the fuck is the money? By the end of it, he had raised somewhere between £7,000, $10,000, somewhere in that region. It raised a lot of fucking money. And people started to question this. In fact, one of the skeptics, our little Sargoon Capo, V himself, started to investigate what exactly is going on. And you can see David was not a very big fan of that. Hey man, have you seen V's video about you? He hired a PI to research your personal life, man. It's part of the reason why I wanted to rebrand. It was really unnerving someone would try to hire a private investigator to get one over on me on the internet. Okay, so I blocked V. That creep was fucking obsessed and I wanted that shit off my timeline. I'm surprised you didn't block him after the whole ordeal with him threatening to dox Dee. I was worried it might provoke him to dox Dee. Ah, good point. He seems like he has no limits and is willing to do whatever is necessary to hurt people he doesn't like. And that fucking creature is still promoted by people like Sargon and Kraut. They can go die in a fucking fire. Uh-oh. That creature's promoted by Sargon and Kraut. What a weird, ironic twist where we sit today, with Kraut and David side by side and V associating with them. That's very bizarre. Yeah, he didn't like Dee being mocked. He didn't like her being teased. He got very upset about it. I tried to be charitable, but when I was mocked for trying to help save someone I care about escape the threat of death, I fucking gave up. They can choke to death on their red pills for all I care at this point. Now, as you can see from those messages, David's talking about V hiring a private investigator to look into all these hot facts. Well, let's look at the conclusion, because V put up a concluding video to his in-depth fucking investigation into David Sherratt. And where's the fucking money? And you might notice some familiar names pop up with some more information that makes it sound even fucking goofier. The gypsy detective V's on the case. Oh boy. You shouldn't have fucked with him, David. He's running down leads. Oh, he's very serious. The conclusion to Spino's fundraiser revealed. Well, let's see if we get any information out of this.
As you guys know, I have hired a investigator in order to get to the bottom of this situation. And I was about to hire the second one. If one wasn't enough, I was quite determined.
He's going to hire 2 investigators to track down what the fuck is going on. That's how determined he is to get to the truth.
To get to the bottom of this. And I got to the bottom of it. And I was quite surprised to what I found. And I think you guys are going to be surprised as well. And this is going to be one of the first videos where I actually read from a script. Because I don't want to miss anything, because this is some important stuff. So the investigator got me into contact with an ex-radical Muslim named Jen.
Your baby's secret, she whispers, just to you.
Allahu Akbar.
Who is running a underground railway in order to get Muslims from hotspots into safe places. And
now that name should ring a bell, because we heard about it in the Breitbart article. That's, I believe, the same Jen. So the investigator tracked down his co-fundraiser to get the real answers. And what is our Jen doing right now? She's running an underground railroad to save Muslims from Qatar and other Gulf states. Totally believable. But let's find out what information Jen was able to give the private investigator and V about where that fucking money is.
She did say that it was ridiculous to say that me saying Qatar is doxing her, because in fact she is now suggesting that using money is not the most efficient way to get these people out, because money leaves a paper trail, while using houses and connections and contacts with people and favors is a better way to do it. But anyway, the investigator looked into Jen, and turns out that she's legit. It turns out that she does indeed manage to get ex-Muslims out of these places. Some of them do manage to get out. Others, unfortunately, end up in jail or end up beaten, honor killed, or worse, burned alive and stuff like that. It's a hard job, right? And I talked with Jen, and hopefully I'm going to get her on a stream if she wants to come here. We can talk about a few stories. I would really like to hear how it is to be an ex-Muslim coming from one of these countries. So she told me that she was the one who organized the charity for Spino and Jen.
Oh, okay. So she's the one that organized the charity. That's the person the PI tracked down. Really great detective work finding the person that co-funded the fucking charity. Really needed to pay the detective money to do that, because it would have been impossible otherwise. How are you ever going to find them? And he talks to them. And so they're the co-funder of the fundraiser for our magical atheist Muslim girl D. And they told V money isn't a good option. It leaves a paper trail. They also said that they run an underground railroad. So if you run an underground railroad to rescue Muslims from caliphates, from Gulf states, from nations that have honor killings, you know, if you have that whole network set up to rescue them and save their lives, and money is such a bad thing, fundraisers just don't work. Why did you co-fund the fucking fundraiser? Why did you set that up with David Sherratt? It's just questions, you know, simple follow-up questions.
Yes, Spino and his girlfriend, sorry. And they didn't manage to get $10,000. Apparently they managed to get $7,000. And Spino's girlfriend did go to the airport, as was promised in the charity. And here's where a human error has happened. Jen, instead of waiting to see that Spino's girlfriend is safe in the United Kingdom, she already closed the charity at this point. So there aren't going to be any more refunds. She now has access to all the money.
Match me, guys. Bernie can still win this. We've just got to... No refunds. Fuck all of you. We can get him in the White House. Match me right now. Hey, guys. I run an underground railroad to rescue Muslims from the Middle East. By the way, money's useless. I also opened up a fundraiser to raise money, which I've closed now, and there are no refunds. But trust me, I'm saving people's lives over here.
As I was saying, it was $7,000, not $10,000, which apparently was not enough to allow her to go to the United Kingdom. Because it looked weird, especially for a woman, to go alone on a plane.
God, you know what else looks weird? Raising money through a fundraiser after you tell people explicitly that money is useless when you're trying to rescue people. Telling people you run an underground fucking railroad that's international. You run an underground railroad that spans Asia, the Middle East, and Europe, even to America. You're covering multiple continents. That's how in-depth your network is. And she gets stopped at the airport, and that's where the story ends? Mr. Underground Railroad? Mr. I save people from caliphates? Well, fuck, what am I supposed to do? They told her, we're not going to sell you a ticket. Where's your license for a ticket to the plane? I can't go against that. I don't have a rescuing Muslim girls license. Sorry, there's nothing I could do. Thank you for the charity money. No refunds.
With this amount of money, so they denied her visit visa. Now, I did mention in a video, why didn't she go to an embassy? And the reason is that if they refuse your political asylum, people do see you going into the embassy, and then, when you come out, they can arrest you, and they will send you back to your parents, which is something that she's trying to avoid, obviously. So apparently, they do want $10,000 in the bank in order to allow a visa into the United Kingdom.
Yeah, you see, guys, you just didn't raise enough fucking money. All right, the charity's worthless. I can't save you with my underground railroad because the ticket taker at the airport said no deal. But if you give me $3,000 more dollars, if we had $10,000 in total rather than this piddly little $7,000, she'd totally be safe. You guys fucked up. Not David Sherratt. Not Jen. Not the magical atheist ex-Muslim girl D. That's your fault. You fucked up. What are you doing, chat? Do you want her to get beheaded? Do you know what happens to atheists in Qatar? They throw them off rooftops. Right onto the corpses of gay people. Oh, she's a dead woman. All because you were stingy. Way to go, Scrooge McDuck. Way to fuck that one up.
And now they're going to try for another country. The problem is also that she had no sponsor. Spino, being a kid, was advised to marry the woman, but I guess being a MGTOW kind of gets in the way of that.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Spino being a kid, he wasn't a kid. In that 2015 article we read about him being a MGTOW, he stated his age as 18 in the headline. The fundraiser took place in 2016. David would have been 19 years old in 2016. He could have married her. He could have sponsored her. He wasn't a kid. He was an adult. He was a big boy doing university classes at Cardiff University.
That's pretty much the whole story. So let's contemplate a little bit on what the fuck just happened. Spino, are you a moron?
Better question, V. Are you a moron? You're buying this load of shit? Your private investigator put you in contact with the fucking person co-funding the fundraiser, who told you they run an international underground railroad, but couldn't save a girl because somebody at the airport told her no. They told you that David couldn't sponsor them because he's a kid, even though he's fucking 19 and in the university. Who told you money's useless, and then said, well, no, money's not useless. We're just $3,000 short. That's what you spent your money on? That was your private investigator? What are you doing? None of this adds up. None of it adds up. I'm just so confused. I guess the question that just lingers on my mind, and when it comes to David and Jen and Dee.
Show me the money!
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski?
Where's the money?
Here's the fucking money, shithead! Show me the money!
Yeah, that's right. Show me the money, David. Where's the fucking money, David? Where's the money, Jen? Where's the money, D? What's all this bullshit I'm hearing about couldn't get through the airport, the Underground Railroad couldn't help me? Oops, got put in the bank account, no refunds for anybody. If only you'd given more money to David Sherratt and the magical girl D. The girl D he wanted to save because she's got a pretty smile. Oh, such a pretty smile. And V hires a private investigator. He's going to hire two of them. Two private investigators to track down that fucking money. And he just stops because the dumb bitch that co-funded the thing told them, oh no, it's okay, bro. Shit happens. I don't know what to tell you. No refunds. Fuck you. No refunds. We're keeping the money. She's still in Qatar. Probably getting stoned to death by her parents. Because she wanted to date a MGTOW named David. Who's afraid he's going to be falsely accused of rape. Oh God, poor David. Can't let those women take his cherry.
Good morning, Lauren. I've just raped you.
Yes!
What a shit show. Let's see what V's brilliant conclusions are.
Like, no, seriously, are you a cretin? Like, you do realize that you're playing with this woman's life, right? Like, you do realize that you're in the spotlight and you're going out of your way to piss off YouTubers that have tens of thousands of people as subscribers. And not only that, but you constantly yap your mouth to your friends. How the fuck do you think that I knew she's from Qatar? And I have more of her docs, by the way.
Oh, there we go. There's another skeptic with some docs. Oh, what a shock.
But lucky for you, I'm not a decent human being. And I didn't post her docs. Just in case. You fucking imbecile. Instead of keeping your head down and making sure you don't drag attention, you go around on the Twitter, hanging around with people that are quite annoying, to say the least, that do drag attention. You're doing your best to piss off people that are YouTubers and the alt-right, so you're trying to make as many enemies as possible. Don't you think that it's a good thing that I looked into this shit? Because at least I don't have the basic human decency to go around and tell the people what I found. Imagine if I was someone else. Imagine if I was someone just motivated by making money. I would have just hidden this. I would have kept it hidden. And I would have just constantly, beat the drum that all of this is fake.
But V, you didn't expose anything. You got information that doesn't make any fucking sense. And then you didn't follow any of it up. You're being told bullshit by somebody that literally told you they run an international underground railroad. That should be the first fucking flag that makes you think something is suspicious. That should be the first one. It should pop right up. Be visible from miles away. That should be, oh my god, look, there's a flag. Somebody's doing semi-4 over on that fucking hill on yonder. Telling you that money's useless, it leaves a paper trail, but you didn't get enough money. David's refusal to talk about this anytime anybody asks him, where's the fucking money, David? Where did the fucking money go? Oh, and let's not forget D's brilliant post. Okay, I want you to imagine. You're an atheist ex-Muslim girl living under the oppressive regime of a Middle Eastern caliphate where you'll be executed if you tell anybody that you just don't believe in Allah, right? Where your parents will honor kill you. And how did D react to all of this? Oh my god, I'm not going to go to Freedom Land. I can't get to the UK. I can't get to the US. I didn't have enough money. None of that. What was Dee's reaction? Well, she had a Ask FM. Let's read one of the posts. D here. For people throwing the accusations that I con people, I did apply for a visa. It did take a while, but I had to make sure that no one finds out what I'm up to, as all I could do was the paperwork. But either way, I didn't get it. So now I still have the money, and I'm looking into other places I can go. But there's nothing definite. I did write about all this in detail on my Ask FM when the decision came out. So thanks, Sherlock. But most of the people who donated are people who knew me and know my situation. Stop trying to make up shit and leave me out of whatever petty drama you want to have. The ex-Muslim atheist girl who fears that she's going to be killed by her fucking parents in a caliphate is referring to it as petty drama and calling people Sherlock when they ask where the fucking money is. Oh, she's got the money. Didn't get the visa, but she got the money. Okay, Sherlock? Fuck off with your petty drama. Alright, I'm afraid for my life. The Underground Railroad, run by Jen and David Sherratt, couldn't get me out of the caliphate. Oh no, what am I gonna do? My life is over. Whatever. Fuck you. Fuck you and your petty drama. Sanders 2020, match me, motherfucker. We're gonna win the presidency.
And then people would have started investigating and shit. Jesus, mate, honestly, just if you put your name on the charity, it's there. The internet is forever. And people will investigate if you piss them off. If you piss people off, they will look into your past. How do I know this? Because I'm doing this shit myself. Don't you think people looked into my past? Don't you think they didn't try to find shit about me? When you piss off people on the internet, this is what happens. And they will see that you have a charity, and yet you don't have a girlfriend next to you, you moron. And they're going to investigate, and they're going to find the exact same shit that I did. Imagine if someone is a person from the alt-right that you really pissed off. It's not that you got doxxed once before.
Oh, that's right. Poor David. Poor David got doxxed once, you guys. Can we hold a candlelight vigil for David getting doxxed? Oh, wait, he faked that. Did Spino pretend to get doxxed? Yeah, it was a dumb attempt to make a point. He released this video, deleting his Twitter. Oh, he was making a point, V. Spino didn't get doxxed. He was just making a point. There's another line of bullshit that you bought from Spinosauruskin. The fucking MGTOW raising money for the ex-Muslim atheist girl to ride the Underground Railroad to America. Fake doxed himself. Just to prove a point. Alright, let's go back to V's amazing analysis.
Not to mention that these people, that you're yapping your mouth constantly. And I have this information from other people which are also not basic human beings level. And they keep their mouth shut. Jesus fucking Christ, you moron. No, honestly, it's just, see, like, I assumed some level of intelligence that maybe you can't people, but no, you're just stupid. Now, let's talk about the girl. I'm not going to give your name, but I'm pretty sure you're watching this, right? If you don't care about your life, why do you expect other people will? Why do you go on about talking that you're an ex-Muslim on the internet and bragging about all these things and also pissing people off as well?
Because she's not real, V. Because it's a con job, V. Because David Sherratt and Jen and D conned people out of money. Because there's no evidence where the money went. Because nothing in the story makes any fucking sense. I'm supposed to believe some 20-something-year-old that fled to America set up an underground railroad network to rescue other Muslims? I'm supposed to believe that she was only $3,000 short from getting a visa? I'm supposed to believe that she's bitching about petty drama when people are worried that she's going to die? I'm supposed to believe that David Vaginas Are Icky Spinosauruskin decided to do this out of the goodness of his heart? No, V. I have to go back to an earlier point, I'm sorry. But I need to know where that fucking money is.
Show me the money!
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski?
Where's the money? Where's the fucking money, shithead? Show me the money!
He's so naive. It's almost adorable, really. How just fucking naive he is. And how all these people keep popping up. There's Crowd. Oh, did David fake stocks himself? Oh, yep, he did. Let's see what his closing thoughts are.
Just keep your head down at least until this issue is resolved. I mean, the whole thing with me, all you had to do was the moment I mentioned Qatar, you could have contacted me in a DM and said, look, this is the problem that I have. Please don't mention Qatar, you know. Or anything else. And if you would have had this conversation with me, none of this would have happened. But imagine my surprise when I wake up in the morning and 5 of my friends tell me that I doxed you. In fact, your boyfriend still says that I doxed you. I was this close to dox you, you know, all of it. But Unfortunately, I have some morals, despite people claim I don't. Even I claim I don't, but I guess I found some. It is annoying when you're accused of doxing, you know, because I would never dox someone. I don't want to put people in danger. I'm not that person. I'm really trying not to do all of this shit. And when I'm accused, it infuriates me. So, well, if I'm accused, might as well fucking do it. But at least I used the common decency, as you call it. And I said, well, you know, what if? And turns out I did the good decision. But someone else might have not. You could have just, again, contacted me, acted like a normal person. And again, just stop talking that you're an atheist. Stop talking that you do certain things that are haram. You know what those are.
No, actually, nobody does, because this bitch burned down every social media profile that she had the moment she left town with $7,000 dues. I mean, who's to say D was real? I have no proof that D was real. D could have been a name pulled out of an ass. And your private investigator, all they did was talk to the co-fundraiser. That's not really in-depth investigation. And of course, somebody, if they're part of the scam, they're going to tell you bullshit to make you shut up, V. Never listen to the source when you're investigating them. You investigate around them. They're going to lie to you by default. That's how that works when you're running a money hustle. Oh my god. Poor naive little V. We'll take a little small break here. And we're back. So far, to bring us up to point, for those just joining, David is a MGTOW who was in the press as being a MGTOW, who decided that he loved a girl's smile so much he was going to raise her $10,000. And the person that co-funded that fundraiser with him runs an underground railroad internationally to save Muslims. But with their combined effort and $10,000 raised, they couldn't save poor little D from, I don't know, honor killings? But there are no refunds. I mean, fuck you guys, no refunds. D keeps it all. Okay, she needs that money. She's got to cover herself in bacon. That's the only way to sneak out of Qatar. She has to cover herself in bacon so they won't touch her. And have a dog lead her out. That's the safest way to get out of a Muslim country. That's where the money went. Tough shit for all of you fuckers. You're not getting a cent of it back. Now, there's some interesting things about David that we've got to cover, I think are important. Because I want to try to paint a picture of who he is and where I think he's headed. So he's a MGTOW. He's you could call him an incel, I guess. Well, I guess he wouldn't be involuntarily celibate. So he's not an incel. He chose to be celibate. So he's just I guess, an MRA. He's a MGTOW. But he helps out D, a totally real girl that absolutely, totally exists. and she disappears with the money, refusing to answer the question where the fucking money is. But I think you're going to start to notice a trend with David, and see if you can follow along, okay? Our Muslim girl, right, she's raised in a Muslim environment, probably conservative, fairly conservative on her viewpoints, coming from a conservative background. You know, a very structured environment. But I've noticed a trend with David, that he seems to really like women like that, and it drives him crazy because none of them have any interest in how horny they make him. Like, here he is with the chick that did the Red Pill movie, and I want you to look at his face. That's David on the right, just staring her the fuck down. He's actually biting his lip. He's so horny, he has to physically hurt himself to stop from leaping over that table and sniffing her hair. He just wants to get in there and give it a snifferoo. I don't see what the problem is. My name's David the MGTOW. I raised money for D and got her out of the caliphate. You owe me a vagina. He's very excited. Oh, I want to just sniff her a little bit. But no, that's not going to happen. And we can't forget Lauren Southern either. I mean, David has a bit of a thing for our little Lauren. I mean, you've heard the clip already.
Good morning, Lauren. I've just raped you.
Yes!
Even did a 2-hour stream with Lauren. 2-hour stream with her, where he just awkwardly fumbles and bumbles around, trying to smash that ass. He wants to be one of those animus on her spats. He just wants to live on her thighs, but Lauren's not having any of it. Sorry, David. This is no-go zone. You may not enter here. There's nothing for you. Lauren doesn't want you creeping in her DMs, which he tried to do. Hey, I've heard rumors that you rejected David Sherratt, and that's why he's like this now. Is that true? To which Lauren Southern responds, lol, I didn't even reply to his messages because I was working 2 jobs, going to uni and making vids, so he blocked me on everything and went social justice warrior. So David has been denied pussy so much by so many conservative girls that he can't fucking take it anymore. He's gonna go bat for the other team. He's not getting any conservative pussy. It's no-go for you, David. No red pill pussy, no Lauren Southern pussy, no D the magical ex-Muslim girl pussy. No pussy for you. No matter how much you like their smiles, David. They're not letting you in their spats. And that made him angry enough to become an SJW, where he started targeting his old friends, made a fake Sargon of Akkad parody account and went after him, started shit-talking all the others in his little group of influence, all because women wouldn't have sex with him, even though he did a news article where he told people he doesn't like vaginas very much. Very, very strange, David. Very strange. Now, with David, he's going through a progression, and this is my theory on him. I think David desperately wants some hot Republican pussy. He wants that conservative cunt, but he can't get it. He can't get it, and it makes him mad. Makes him really fucking mad that he can't get that Lauren Southern hole. So he bats for the other team. But he very shortly finds out that a majority of the women on the other team are actually dudes. They're all dudes, David. I know you went to bat for the libs, but apparently they have more penises over there than the Republicans do. And so David was left with no choice. He has to go through the full transformation. He has to become the girl himself. I love how quickly Michelle found my tweet, and that's so mad online. She's calling me an egg. It's okay. You'll get over me being prettier than you one day. Oh, really, David? One day? I think that day's coming soon. I've seen how long you've grown your hair out. It's from Chloe Adams. Look, I'm not trying to imply anything, but your hair is following the exact pattern mine did when I was in egg mode. Egg mode? What? Egg is a trans community slang for people who refuse to accept that they're trans, as those who are still in the closet to themselves. David is becoming a woman. Can we give him a round of applause? What a beautiful girl you are, David. You follow that dream. Even the other trans activists on his side of the fucking internet think that he's becoming trans. Everybody does. David got so angry he couldn't get conservative pussy that he decided to become a girl himself, probably so he could fuck himself. I think that's the end goal for David. He's going to sit naked in front of a mirror and fuck himself. Because if nobody will give him pussy willingly, he will become the pussy and do himself. As I like to call it, David's just feeling trans-tastic right about now. Beautiful, long, luscious, flowing hair. Getting a sassy girl attitude on the internet. You can't stop David. Davina. We don't want to dead name her anymore. Davina's a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman. Doesn't need Lauren Southern anymore. Fuck your red pill movies. I don't care about Dee the magical ex-Muslim girl. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna put on this pretty dress, slap on some lipstick, get naked in front of a mirror, and just fuck the shit out of myself. Welcome to the current year. We get her done differently here. Even the trans activists on the liberal side of the internet think that David's a tranny. Everybody thinks that David's a tranny. Because I think David is. He just isn't being completely honest with himself. We need to be supportive. Okay? We need to offer a helping hand and create an inclusive environment in which Davina can feel comfortable with herself. She can wear pretty dresses. She can put on the lipstick and the makeup. We should encourage Davina to be true to herself. To work it, girl. You know what I mean? You gotta vogue, Davina. You gotta get sassy with it. Sashay a little bit. Spice it up a bit. Everybody please clap. Yep. Just keep clapping. Give Davina her energy so she can come through. Now, one of the things you might have noticed about David, especially during the V stream and some of the statements he made, was he was involved basically in a scam. He's seemingly insane. He repeatedly talked to Kraut. He faked his own docs, and he accused others of doxing. And, you know, it's weird because I've heard and seen these tactics play themselves out in the last year. You know, Davina recently accused Ralph of doxing people with his Discord, even though it was a complete bullshit joke. Davina has gone on tirades about the evil alt-right, about the things the evil alt-right does. And it brings me back to this Wizard of Cause conversation. I keep going back to it in my head, because things start to click more and more. This is David arguing with Wizard about where the origin of things started. And Wizard tells him, you fucked yourself. And he said, how did I fuck myself? Well, shall we revisit when you were frantic about your lady friend? The place this all began. The help you begged me for. The way I told you directly not to bring up that reckless imbecile in. And how he fucked that all up. I had nothing to do with this crusade. And my shit died for it. So what is Wizard talking about? I think pieces of information are starting to fall in line. David runs a money scam. And he gets called out on it. And he gets fucking angry about how he got called out on it. And the people that initially called him out on it were people on the alt-right and some of the skeptics. So David decides he wants revenge. And David gets together with some of the others, like Jeff Holiday and Wizard of Cause, and the imbecile. Who's the imbecile that he's talking about? Well, we have a sound clip. I can tell you who the imbecile is, but I'll let the imbecile do it himself.
I don't know why you recruited Spider, honestly. The guy is dumb as a brick. And he
I didn't really recruit Spider. That's the funniest part. Like, Spider kind of approached me.
I didn't recruit Spino. He's referring to David. Kraut and V are in that conversation. That's one of the calls that leaked with Tonka. And he's telling V's asking, why did you bring David on board for your 24-hour opsing? And Kraut tells him, I didn't. David invited me on. This was all David's show. David was the one that set this up. It corroborates what Nick is saying. David Sherratt is so embarrassed that he lost $10,000 to a fake Muslim girl that he started a fucking internet war with everybody that wronged him. And every dirty, dumb tactic that he's used for the last year and a half bitching about that has been in petty revenge because he doesn't know where that fucking money is. David, I want to know, where's that fucking money, Davina?
Show me the money!
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski?
Where's the money? Ah! Ah! Where's the fucking money, shithead? Show me the money!
Show me that fucking money. Where did it go? It just didn't disappear, Davina. You started an internet war because you got duped or because you were part of a duping scheme. This is amazing. The lore gets deeper every day. Every day the lore gets deeper. And there's little Davina in the middle of her beautiful transition. You know, let's go back, because it really is. It's a trans-tastic kind of thing. And Davina's just really fucked up about it. And starts the shit show we've been watching for a year now. This is David Sherratt's doing. David Sherratt is behind all of it. All because he doesn't know where that fucking money is. And because he's sick of hearing, where's the fucking money, David? Are you kidding me? A mentally unbalanced MGTOW that's transitioning into a beautiful girl doesn't know where the fucking money is. And so he wants to burn the internet down in revenge. What? You couldn't write this. Eat your fucking heart out, soap operas. Anime, sit your ass down. Davina's here to write a script nobody saw coming. Even the best of Hollywood studios couldn't keep track of shit like this. It's some next level stuff. But there's more. Because, I wanted to gather up as much as I could. I want to paint the best picture of Davina. And when you're looking at this, all kind of playing itself out. Davina's anger at not getting hardcore Republican pussy. Davina's anger at being made fun of because he doesn't know where the fucking money is. Davina's quest for revenge against the evil alt-right and those skeptics that apparently help them. Namely, I guess, V. When you look at all of these autistic fucking actions, you're left with a question. Does our beautiful trans girl have actual autism? Well, let's take a look at some personality traits, and then we'll see if we can puzzle together whether David's actually autistic, or that's just a joke. This is from their old Ask FM. How do you maintain sanity with all the idiots who talk to you daily? I've been born with a sense of intellectual superiority that makes me feel like I'm always the smartest person in the room, no matter what. Often having the ability to show it can help, though, so I'm used to feeling like I'm surrounded by idiots. Oh, Davina, you're so smart. Oh, my little Davina's so smart. Oh, intellectual superiority, you sound like Garanchev. Oh, intellectual checkmate. Oh, what a big boy you are, David. Nobody says shit like that. No, I mean, I guess they do when they're completely well-adjusted and normal, Davina. So could our little Captain David have autism? I don't know. Are there more clues that might point to potential autism with Davina? What other evidence might we have? Well, how about a tweet for Mommy? Mommy put a tweet out, Davina, about how dirty your disgusting little room is, Tinkle Boy. This is what Spino's room looks like a lot. Like Spino Mum. Oh, look at his beautiful room, guys. That's after Davina had a little tantrum. Maybe his mommy asked him where the money was. And so Davina just wrecked it. Don't you dare ask me where the money is. Don't you know how smart I am? I'm intellectually superior to you, bitch. How dare you ask me where that money is? I'm so fucking smart. Oh, Davina. Dirty room, overinflated sense of self-importance, smug attitude, inability to read social cues. It's starting to add up here, isn't it? I mean, it wouldn't be shocking, I suppose, if we came to find out that our little Davina was a member of the autism forums for the Asperger's and autism community. Oh, beautiful little Davina. What golden post might exist there? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to read Davina's beautiful autism forum posts, one after the other. And we're going to learn about how smart our little David is, and how hard his little life is, and how he has difficulties interacting with people, and how if you stare at somebody, it's a death sentence. Oh, there's some gold in this. So we've got a bunch of posts, and people have taken the time to archive a majority of them, and to list them in chronological order. So I don't even know where we should start, to be honest with you. There's so many things. We've got relationships, social anxiety, dating and love, autism spectrum, interests, off-topic obsessions, religion, friends, family, and social skills, and, oh, there's an even bigger one, just general autism talk. But let's start, I think, at the beginning. Let's introduce ourselves. He's known on the forums as Spinosaurus King. Lots of posting, good karma, well-known member. Just remember that. Spinosaurus on the autism forum is a well-known member. Alright, well, here's one in an introduction thread. Talking about amino acids in an introduction thread, I don't know. I mean, every single person has some arbitrary archetype of what normal is, of which they would be bloody lucky to find a single person who has every single attribute that they could class as normal. And even then, that architect is nowhere near common, let alone a majority. And so considering someone not normal or weird is arbitrary, judgmental, and completely wrong. All that means, if someone says that is, my spidey senses say that this specific aspect of you is not what I consider acceptable, so never bother with being normal, because most of humanity, whatever you do, will be considered weird for something. Now, the important thing about this, and why I wanted to start off with this one, is remember David's room? You see what's in the background there? When he's talking about his spidey senses tingling? Well, there's Spider-Man. Because David's so smart, he likes to talk about things that relate. So in case anybody thought, maybe this isn't actually him. No, David would be autistic enough on the autism forum to talk about Spider-Man, because apparently he loves him. He wants to be all up inside Peter Parker. Maybe he wants to be the new Mary Jane. Maybe that's what this is all about. Davina wants to take her place. Beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Oh, there's so many to pick from. We're just going to go through them. We're going to go through them all. I'm sure we're going to find some gold nuggets. It'll be an adventure. An adventure digging through the autism forums for Davina's posts. Well, you know what? Let's just jump into the deep end. Let's go into love, relationships, and dating. It's in a thread called Your Relationship Status, and they're discussing love. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, of course. This is Davina. I'm in love with a lesbian girl. See her every day. Planning to tell her that so... Wow. In love with a lesbian girl. See her every day. Planning to tell her that we can't see each other anymore. Sighs. Oh, heartbreaking. Is that why David wants to become Davina? Does David always seek the unattainable? Is that why he became a MGTOW? Not because he actually thinks women are horrible, but because none of the women that he wants will touch him. Lauren Southern ain't gonna touch him. That red-pilled chick ain't gonna touch him. D doesn't even exist. And he's in love with a lesbian girl. Way to aim for the stars, champ. I'm sure you can get her to love the D, David. Beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Really smart. No wonder you're having relationship problems. You're trying to fuck somebody that has zero interest in fucking men. How dumb are you? Oh, there are more. There are more, so bear with me. Well, let's find out what his preferences are. Apparently, he's talking about them. Meh. Everyone has some kind of preference. I don't seem to have any criteria for the appearance of a girl, but I do have some personality traits that I need for it to work, and I will also try not to sound offensive. Like how she would need to be responsibly intelligent for me to have a decent conversation with. I would say that you shouldn't get worried about it. Remember, David is intellectually superior to the majority of you plebs out there. Alright, he's just very smart. He has to maintain his sanity. And when he finds a beautiful lesbian girl, he needs her to be smart too. Because if she's not smart, she can't keep up with his smartness. And that's just not going to make the relationship work. Brilliant. No physical requirements, but that bitch better be able to read. Otherwise, it ain't happening. He's a picky boy. Let's see if he talks about any more preferences for the ladies in the love section of the autism forums. From Spinosaurus Kin again. Yeah, I'm with these guys. Try to form some kind of relationship before anything. Then tell her when you feel the time is right. Try to get onto it in a conversation. One idea is maybe talk about a TV show or movie where the character has Asperger's and bring it up there. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways you could do it, though. Can you picture David? I almost feel like this is something that happened to him in high school. I want you to picture David going up to the lesbian girl. And I want you to picture the lesbian girl as like the most cliche, stereotypical bull dyke kind of chick you can, where there's no way you could confuse it, right? Where she is just really super fucking open about, I have no interest in men. I am a super lesbian. Get your penis away from me. And here comes David, awkwardly strutting across campus, up to this lesbian girl. And the first thing he says is, what's your IQ? And after she just stares at him, he finally tries to work it in. Because he wants her to know that he has Asperger's. That he's autistic. So he just casually works it in by using a TV show that might deal with something similar. Hey, have you ever seen Life Goes On? You know that retard Corky? Yeah, that's me. Would you like to go on a date with me? I'm too autistic to understand that you only want to go muff diving. Would you please go on a date with me? Oh, David, what are you doing, champ? Maybe you shouldn't have become a MGTOW. You should have asked a straight girl out on a date. Might have been a better approach to this, David. Alright, that was from the love and relationship thread. Let's continue on. Where was the social interactions one? No, obsessions and interests. Oh, family and social skills. Here we go. I really want to play a sound clip for you. It's in the conversation he has with Lauren Southern. And when David's talking to her, his mother interrupts them and yells at him because he pissed on the floor. She actually interrupts his conversation and says something to the effect of, "Why can't you wipe after yourself?"
Ableist right now. But she can pronounce these words and I can't.
Not one that, you know, congratulations, Junior and Paul. Not the Paul, just like no. You know the P?
Oh, yeah.
You just do this.
I've got to go for just a quick second. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. I'll try to entertain you guys in the chat. Oh man, I don't even know what I can say right now.
Alright, David has a tinkle problem. He's not a big boy, can't clean up after himself. You saw that tweet of his room, you get the picture. He's a messy boy. Lives in his brain because he's smart. But, you know, these are things that would make a conversation with a woman awkward. Telling her that you're like Corky from Life Goes On. Trying to hit on her if she's a lesbian. Having your mother scream at you about peeing on the floor when you're hitting on Lauren Southern. Just things like that. So you can imagine he probably has some social interaction issues. Let's see if he lays them out for us in that particular portion of the forums. My parents both had issues with accepting, but it was mainly due to ignorance as to what it actually was. You're just ignorant. Okay, you're ignorant, Mom and Dad. You don't understand. You don't understand. I really wanted to fuck that lesbian. This is your fault. This is your fault you want to have sex with me, Mom. Wipe my tinkles up. Wipe my tinkles up and you put my Spider-Man poster back up on the wall. Why is it you can't understand these things? Well, we've got another one. Yeah, I guess that's the main issue. It's also probably why none of us are really sure what to do. Because we can't keep eye contact intuitively. And if you doubted he has trouble looking at people, I don't know. He can't do eye contact, but he can creepily stare at them when he's really horny. Look at that. She's not looking at me. I can avoid direct eye contact. Oh, I just want to smell her hair. I just want to live in her sweater. I just want to get in there and I want to live inside it. And give it a snifferoo. Oh, David. David. You are a weird little fucker, let me tell you. I hope there's a post about him playing with trains in here. In the thread entitled Aspies and Hugging, David has a post talking about his hug-related lifestyle. Nobody wants to hug me other than my weird friend or my mom when she isn't in psycho mode. Oh, little Davina. Davina just wants a hug, you guys. After you wish Davina and Wazlee happiness in their future relationship, just give him a hug. Give him a digital hug. Just go to his Twitter and just say, "I'm with you, Davina. I understand what it's like. I know that you can't pick up on social cues because you are literally autistic and you tried to date a lesbian. I understand that you have trouble tinkling in the toilet. I just want to give you a hug. I want to hug you, Davina. I want to be your friend. It's not a mommy hug, it's a friend hug. All right, this is how bros do it. All right? It's how bros hug. It's how we're going to do it. I'm just working my way through the post. We've got plenty to go through. Take our time and read the nuggets of wisdom that Davina has for us. Oh, we've got a long post. This is a bit of a paragraph. Has anyone gone through life cycles? All right, well, Davina has. And they're going to tell us about their very personal life cycle. Even the stages of it. It's very detailed. Very impressed. My stages. Up to 5, no noticeable differences. I'm sure I watched a huge amount of child's TV and tried to interact with people in that way. From 5 to 11, I was the gifted child in my school. They hated that. I had a problem with authority even at that age, and was the only atheist in a strong Christian school. But my weirdness was written off as quirky, purely because I was clever. 11 to 13, severe is all caps by the way, severe psychological bullying from the kids in my grammar school. I was now on a level playing field of intelligence, and so my weirdness started to really show itself. And my lack of social skills meant I was unable to deal with the bullying, even to the extent that my friends started to join in. I had several meltdowns that were written off as a reaction to the bullying, and I got in a few free punches in the process. I wonder if the teachers ever suspected. So he's telling us he was so fucking autistic, even his friends started talking shit about him. Brilliant. From 13 to 15, did not give a flying fuck about what anybody said or did. My skin had been thickened by the bullying. Not in a good way either. I was angry, had little care for anyone, and just tried to do what I came to school to do. Learn. I made a friend who I found had AS, I guess autism spectrum or Asperger's, and informally diagnosed me a long time before I knew what it was. So David wasn't professionally diagnosed being autistic. He was informally diagnosed as being autistic by a friend. 15 to 16. Due to my communication issues, my GCSE exam buildup was by no means painless. I was screamed at by my parents and even locked out of the house at times. I went into a stage of clinical depression of which my uncaring parents just wrote off as being a lazy teenager. I became irritable. I hated everything and thought about suicide way too much. High doses of painkillers were at arm's reach, but luckily I didn't know the lethal dosage, so I decided it probably wouldn't have worked. And at the time of writing this, I guess it's 16 till now. If this is 2014, he'd be 17 at the time he wrote this. I've kind of grown up emotionally and intellectually. I have self-diagnosed in that time, and now seriously want to convince my mother to let me go further down the road. I can be really insensitive and irritable at times, and deadly tired. My attention span has always been bad, but I am finding it harder and harder to keep focus. School is getting difficult at times as well, with the need for explanation so detrimental to most exams, and now 7 weeks away from IAS. I'm probably going to completely ruin my prospects of getting into any university. Keeping myself just above the metaphorical water of depression, lacking desire for fun at times, and general attention span and energy decreasing. Medicating energy levels with sugar and caffeine, not as effective as I would like. So, Davina, our beautiful trans girl, our $10,000 scam artist, joins the autism forum because their friend made fun of them so much. Their friends told him he was such a weird little shit that when they finally said, "Are you fucking autistic, David?" he was like, "You know what? Yeah, I am. I must be fucking autistic." And he just went with it. And he probably had arguments based on what we're reading with his parents, where he tried to convince them that, hey, I'm not just an insufferable cunt, I'm autistic and you have to put up with it. And mommy, when I tinkle outside the toilet, you need to wipe it up. That's your job. Get down there, champ. Start scrubbing those floors. David tinkles all over the place. He can't help it. It's like a Tumblr blog. David Shitrat's life is a Tumblr blog. He diagnosed himself with his own condition. He pees on the floor so his mother has to wipe it up. He gets scammed or is a scam artist. He tries to date lesbians because he's too fucking retarded to realize lesbians don't want to suck dick. He got so mad at the fact conservative girls wouldn't fuck him, he started an internet war. And according to the words that Nick and himself used, allowed an imbecile to fight the war for them. They're referring to Kraut. Brilliant. Oh, I can see why you're so smirt, David. Such a smirt boy. Let's delve deeper, chat. There's so many posts to go through. Do you apologize for no good reason? Let's see what this no good reason was. All the time. On Monday, I'll be apologizing more than I ever have before. I mean, the fact that I've destroyed a several-year friendship by telling a lesbian that I love her is going to need some serious apologies. And the fact that I'm unlikely to see her again is another apology. And anything else I can think of on the fly. Oh, it wasn't a stranger. He knew the lesbian. He knew the lesbian was a lesbian, and he still tried to fuck her. And he ruined the relationship. Oh, you're dumb. David, you were so fucking stupid. What are you doing? I thought you were smart. You told us how smart you were, David. Remember, you told us Everybody around you is an idiot. And you tried to fuck a lesbian. You're so fucking dumb. What an idiot. Oh, sorry. Oh, God.
Good morning, Lauren. I've just raped you.
Yes!
Oh, just the master of pickups. Oh, David. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, sorry. What a dumb fucker he is. What a dum-dum. David, what a dum-dum you are. If the girl's a lesbian, she doesn't want to date you. That's not even an autism thing. That's just a common sense thing, you stupid fuck. Even an autist would know that. Faking autism is an excuse for making yourself look like an asshole at high school. They have a fucking thing about how to... Oh, Jesus, David. This is a thread that's titled, How do I keep eye contact with people? And somebody said, focus on the eyeball. And then he said, which eye? People have two of them. Oh. Oh, you're so dumb. This isn't autism, it's stupidity. You're a fucking idiot, David. Which one? Pick one. It's in the middle of their fucking face. They're not gonna like specifically know which fucking eye you're looking at. Oh, you're stupid. God, what an idiot. No wonder this crowd shit didn't work. No wonder the 24-hour Discord ops failed. David's a fucking moron. A dirty, dumb fucking moron. No wonder it all blew up in his stupid fucking face. Kraut, holy shit, this guy's dragging you down. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Kraut, David is fucking over your Discord ops. He's the fucking moron that's screwing you over. Oh. Let's go into the obsession and interest section. See if we can find some more. Maybe the love and the self-diagnosis and the hitting on lesbians thing, that we might have crested the mountain on those. We'll check out off topic. Maybe there's some good gems in there. What is this thread? Who else loves to sleep? I sleep as a drug. Chasing the purple dragon of not being tired. Andy, he beat you to it. You thought you were so original with Purple Dragon. Who knew autistic, lesbian hitting David Sherratt beat you to it years ago? You're going to need a new name. Okay, I think we might have crested the mountain. I think we've gotten the basic gist of David Sherratt. So let's see. What do we have? What do we have when it comes to David Sherratt? We've got a self-diagnosed autist whose friends made fun of him so much he convinced himself that he is actually autistic. He then went on to ruin a relationship with somebody he knew was a lesbian, for years knew was a lesbian, and still tried to hit on them. When the lesbian probably told him, "You don't have a vagina, David, I'm not interested," he decided to become a MGTOW. Remember, he wrote that post in 2014. By 2015, he's in newspapers or news articles talking about men going their own way. So David made such an asshole of himself hitting on a lesbian in high school that the only way he could save himself from embarrassment was by becoming a MGTOW and saying that he hated women and he didn't want to be accused of rape and that he wasn't interested in vaginas. But he still couldn't shake that urge to try to bang chicks outside of his ability or league. So he hones in on Lauren Southern and other alt-right chicks. And like the lesbian, they're not interested. Except in this case where the lesbian wanted somebody with a vagina, these two conservative chicks wanted somebody with a dick. And because dickless David doesn't know what the fuck he's doing because he doesn't know what eye to contact. Oh, what am I staring at? They've got two eyes. I'm so fucking confused. They rejected him. And he got so fucking mad about that again, the only way to save himself from embarrassment, just like what happened in high school, was he started an internet war on a Discord. And he brought in fucking Kraut to do his dirty work. Just because chicks won't fuck him. David is he's a chameleon. Lesbian girl won't hit on me, I'm a MGTOW now. Lauren Southern won't fuck me, I'm an SJW now. What's going to happen when David tries to fuck Dralasta? What are you going to become now, Davina? Like, you're running out of skins to wear. There's no more camouflage to cover yourself in. You've hit the end of the road, Davina. There's nowhere else to go. Oh, I guess there is one final place that Davina can go. There's one final act, and we all know what it is. He has no more sanctuaries to hide from his embarrassment. Fake doxing himself, becoming a MGTOW, starting an internet war. There's only one other card that he can possibly play. Davina has to become a girl. It's the only way they can avoid being made fun of. It is a tale as old as time. You know, in the trans community, there's a term called trans-trender, which I think refers to people that are just being transsexual to be trendy, hence the name trans-trender. That's not what David's doing, but there needs to be a term that applies to what David's doing, because it's somewhat similar. David's going to become transsexual. He's going to become a tranny to avoid being made fun of by probably hiding behind that label. And I don't know what that term is, but that's what it should be. It should apply to him. Trans shielding? I don't know if that works, but maybe. Trans celibate? Transcel? Maybe. I actually like transcel. That transsexually celibate. David is so upset he can't get a girlfriend. He has decided to become a girl and use that as the excuse for why he can't date women. He is trans celibate. He's a transcel. Oh, give it a year, and this dude is going to be wearing a dress and taking hormones and talking about the real him. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. David will become Davina within the next 12 months. He has nowhere else to go.
Hey kids, it's time to have fun with Ready, Set, Go! I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me, don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same.
I'm being informed by some people that little Davina and her would-be boyfriend, Wozley, are upset on Twitter. If you could send your condolences to this beautiful couple dealing with brave issues, I think they'd appreciate that. It's hard living in a world where people just don't understand Davina's transition. So, send your fucking, your words of encouragement to Wozley and Davina. Hopefully they can get through all this difficulty.